محمد. اللهم برحمتك في الصالحين فأدخلنا، وفي عليين فارفعنا، وبكأس من معين من عين سلسبيل فاسقنا، ومن الحور العين برحمتك فزوجنا، ومن الولدان المخلدين كأنهم لؤلؤ مكنون فأخدمنا، ومن ثمار الجنة ولحوم الطير فأطعمنا، ومن ثياب السندس والحرير والاستبرق فألبسنا، وليلة القدر وحج بيتك الحرام وقتلا في سبيلك فوفق لنا، وصالح الدعاء والمسألة فاستجب لنا، وإذا جمعت الأولين والآخرين يوم القيامة فارحمنا، وبراءة من النار فاكتب لنا، وفي جهنم فلا تغلنا، وفي عذابك وهوانك فلا تبتلنا، ومن الزقوم والضريع فلا تطعمنا، ومع الشياطين فلا تجعلنا، وفي النار على وجوهنا فلا تكببنا، ومن ثياب النار وسرابيل القطران فلا تلبسنا، ومن كل سوء يا لا إله إلا أنت، بحق لا إله إلا أنت فنجنا. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. اللهم إني أسألك أن تجعل فيما تقضي وتقدر من الأمر المحتوم في الأمر الحكيم، من القضاء الذي لا يرد ولا يبدل، أن تكتبني من حجاج بيتك الحرام المبرور حجهم، المشكور سعيهم، المغفور ذنوبهم، المكفر عن سيئاتهم، وأن تجعل فيما تقضي وتقدر أن تطيل عمري في خير وعافية، وتوسع في رزقي، وتجعلني ممن تنتصر به لدينك، ولا تستبدل بي غيري. أعوذ بجلال وجهك الكريم أن ينقضي عني شهر رمضان، أو يطلع الفجر من ليلة هذه ولك قبلي تبعة أو ذنب تعذبني عليه. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. سورة مباركة الفاتحة مع الصلاة. اللهم
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. سبح اسم ربك الأعلى الذي خلق فسوى، والذي قدر فهدى، والذي أخرج المرعى فجعله غثاء أحوى. سنقرئك فلا تنسى إلا ما شاء الله، إنه يعلم الجهر وما يخفى. ونيسرك لليسرى فذكر إن نفعت الذكرى. سيذكر من يخشى ويتجنبها الأشقى الذي يصلى النار الكبرى ثم لا يموت فيها ولا يحيا قد أفلح من تزكى فذكر اسم ربه فصلى بل تؤثرون الحياة الدنيا والآخرة خير وأبقى إن هذا لفي الصحف الأولى صحف إبراهيم وموسى صدق الله العلي العظيم صلوات اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم يا أيها الذين آمنوا اذكروا الله ذكرا كثيرا. O you who believe, remember Allah, a frequent remembrance. Life in this world can keep us endlessly busy, but still feeling dissatisfied. Worldly activities can become barriers to spirituality, creating heedlessness and polluting the spiritual heart. To counter this, the Quran recommends constant remembrance of Allah, dhikr, not just during prayers but throughout the day, from waking up to sleeping. Constant zikr illuminates the mind and body with the light of Allah, boosting both physical and spiritual health. It serves as a nutrition for the soul, a balm for life's pains, and shield against negative thoughts and emotions. Zikr gives energy and makes life more fulfilling. It protects the believer from pettiness and the frustrations of everyday life, focusing their eyes on loftier goals and keeping shaitan's whispers at bay. It's in the best interest of believers to remember Allah much, seeking forgiveness if they stray, and making dhikr an ingrained habit. This verse commands believers to remember Allah verbally, mentally, and emotionally, renewing their connection with Him daily. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. આવતીકાલે અત્રે હુસૈની ઝહરામાં દુઆ ઇફ્તિતાહ બાદ કુમથી ઇન્ટરનેશનલ રિનાઉન્ડ કારી અલહાજ અહમદ અબુલ કાસિમી કુરાને પાકની તિલાવત કરશે. ત્યારબાદ મુખ્તસર મજલિસ પઢાવવામાં આવશે. ભાઈઓ તથા ભાઈઓને પધારવાની વિનંતી છે. મજલિસનો પ્રોગ્રામ બાદ રાતના 10 વાગે સેકન્ડ ફ્લોર ઉપર જમાતની સ્પેશિયલ જનરલ મિટિંગમાં મેમ્બર્સને રિક્વેસ્ટ કરવામાં આવે છે કે પૂરો ભાગ લે. આસંત.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين وخاتم النبيين أبي القاسم محمد اللهم صل على محمد وعلى أهل بيت الطيبين الطاهرين أما بعد السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. We want to enter the next ayah tonight. Expect 2 ayahs inshallah. But before we go into that, yesterday I concluded a little bit abruptly. There were certain conclusions that I would like to share with you. There is a similarity in what Iblis actually did when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said that I'm going to be creating Adam alayhi salam, and when I blow into my spirit into him, all of you prostrate to him. The reaction of Iblis and the reaction of the brothers of Nabi Yusuf alayhi salam. So let's look at the comparison, because what we are trying to draw here is the sunnah of Iblis. Once I have registered the sunnah of Iblis, now I can go into the tadabbur area, which every individual one of us now we make an assessment how much of the influence that Iblis has on me based on these three formulas that Quran has already mentioned. So the first one is in the creation of Adam. Here we realize that when the announcement was made on the creation of Hazrat Adam alayhi salam, the angels had a concern and they addressed the concern. And whatever concern that they addressed, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala responded to that, and the matter was over. Iblis in the meantime was also present in that gathering, and he had his concern as well, but all the while he was quiet and he was building a narrative. So likewise, when you look at the story of the brothers of Nabi Yusuf alayhi salam, they had a concern. It could be assumption. They were assuming. They could have sorted it out and cleared the air had they gone to their father and would have addressed the father and asked the father, Dad, this is what we feel. It seems that you are giving too much attention to Yusuf and Benjamin, and you are not giving us the attention. Yaqub, being Yaqub alayhi salam, would have sat with his 10 sons and would have explained to them and given the reasons that we discussed yesterday as to why you think my inclination is more towards them. In actual fact, it is not. But it's just because of the reasons that were there, and the matter would have been sorted out. So this was one of the sunnah of Iblis, that he made these brothers remain quiet and they started building their own narrative. This is point number one, the similarity. The second one is the blame game. In as far as Iblis is concerned, when he did whatever he did and he was told now to go out of this place, his next immediate response was, قَالَ فَبِمَا أَغْوَيْتَنِي. He's blaming Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that you, oh Allah, you have deprived me. And since you have deprived me, this is what I'm going to be doing now. The same sunnah is coming now to the brothers. What are the brothers doing? Inna abana lafi dhalalin mubin. They are now addressing their father in this private gathering, like we mentioned yesterday. The 10 brothers are in one room and they are discussing this issue. And now they are blaming the prophetic father that he has gone manifest astray. The father. This is the blame game. So look at it in my life now. How much do I use the blame game? So like I said, tadabbur, we are doing the tafsir here. Tadabbur now is open to you. Discuss, see it yourself, and then reflect it if shaitan's influence is in my life or not. The third one, look for the weakest point here. This is the third similarity that we are saying. Now, Iblis is telling Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, قَالَ أَنَا خَيْرٌ مِّنْهُ خَلَقْتَنِي مِنْ نَارٍ وَخَلَقْتَهُ مِنْ طِينٍ. He's doing a comparison that I am better than him. You created me from fire and you created him from clay. Fire is more superior than clay. What Iblis failed, was it a deliberate thing or was it out of ignorance? Iblis knew, it wasn't out of ignorance. Iblis knew that Adam alayhi salam had some special quality in him, and that is the reason why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is making this pronouncement that all of you do sajda to him. It wasn't the putlo or the clay body of Adam that was that had the sanctity. Rather, it was the spirit that Allah blew into Adam. That was what honored Adam. Iblis knew that. But when he is going for an argument, please listen to this. When he is going for the argument, he is not mentioning the ru part in the argument, because he knows that if he goes into the ru part, he will lose the argument. So he avoids the ru and he goes into the clay part. So this is one part play that Iblis is playing. What are the brothers playing? Same line, same sunnah of Iblis, same sunnah. What do they do? The brothers are saying, Ahabbu ila abina minna wa nahnu usbah. Our father loves them more than he loves us, whilst we are the strong ones. Now, they are comparing their strength with the weakness of Yusuf alayhi salam. They very well knew that Yusuf alayhi salam had already shown signs of prophethood in terms of his akhlaq, in terms of the way he would speak, in terms of the way he would act. They knew that Yusuf alayhi salam had special qualities. But in the argument, when they are all gathered up together, because there's one person who is talking and he wants to convince the 10 guys who are there, he misses out the key point. He misses out, and that is also a deliberate ploy on their side, that they miss out the main point, and they say that he is too weak and we are the ones who are strong. They just leave out the prophethood signs. So these are the signs of Iblis and the sunnah of Iblis, and this is how he imposes this sunnah on us. Now, there's a beautiful hadith. Yesterday we mentioned about assumption. The entire game is being played on assumption. So Imam Jafar Sadiq salawatullahi wa salamu alayhi. Allahumma salli. Listen to this hadith carefully, please. When a believer suspects his fellow brother, we're talking about assumption. I keep on assuming about people. When a believer suspects his fellow brother, his faith disappears from his heart like salt disappears in water. This is the consequence of having assumptions and acting on assumptions. Now, the meeting continues of the brothers. Yesterday we said that they gathered there and one of them was the spokesman. Now, things are getting a little bit more serious here with the brothers. The toxins have entered into the hearts, and now these toxins are burning and something active has to be done. So ayah number 9 and 10 is what we are going to be discussing today. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Uqtulu Yusuf aw itrahuhu arda yakhlu lakum wajhu abikum wa takunu min ba'dihi qauman salihin. Now they are talking about killing Yusuf. It sounds a little bit unimaginable that nani chij mate tame tamara nana bhaine maru che for a small thing, such a small thing. But now we understand that when I start injecting negative thoughts in my mind, and these toxins now drip down into my heart, the actions are there will never be proportional. It will be higher than what you put in first. So this is a very, very key point. Slay Yusuf, number 1, or cast him forth into some land, so that, what is the reason? 7-year-old kid, what has he done to you 16, 17-year-old boys? He's just a 7-year-old kid. Slay Yusuf or cast him forth into some land, so that your father's regard may be exclusively for you, and after that you may be a righteous people. Ek kaam apne kari le. Get Yusuf out of the way first. After we have done that, and after we are satisfied now that Yusuf is gone, the father's attention will no more be towards Yusuf. Now the father is going to look more towards us. After that happens, Tawbah kari naksu. We'll do Tawbah. So they were nice guys. I mean, they were not people who were not believers. They were believers, and they had faith, and they had the judgment as well in their mind. And that's the reason why they say, let's get this thing out of the way. After that, we'll be all nice kids. So this is ayah number 9. Ayah number 10. One of the brothers wasn't happy with this idea of killing. So he comes up and says, قَالَ قَائِلٌ مِّنْهُمْ لَا تَقْتُلُوا يُوسُف وألقوه في غيابة الجب يلتقطه بعد السيارة إن كنتم فاعلون. A speaker from among them said, "Do not slay Yusuf, cast him down into the bottom of the pit, if you must do it, so that some of the travelers may pick him up." So now, interesting observation here. And I mentioned this earlier. What is the interesting thing here? And these are lessons for all of us. How the mind works and how these toxins that I'm injecting into me, what is the reaction to that? Can I stop it at that stage or allow it to enter and develop till it gets into an active mode? The observation is, in reality, Yusuf hasn't done nothing to this man. Absolutely nothing. He's an innocent 7-year-old boy. Ajarak dhyanti sambarjo, please. I know it's so difficult, when you're fasting and to focus. It's difficult to talk as well when you're fasting. A bhayone em laigu ke a problem je che that they are suffering, because it seems like it's a mega problem because the action is mega. They want to kill their brother. Meaning, musibat se moti amara upar. And that's the reason why we are taking such a big step. Now, all the while, before they came to this decision, they were under the impression that the problem is an external problem. A bar no problem che. In reality, outside there is absolutely no problem because, like we said, Yusuf has done nothing to them. Aki factory che, they built it up within them. This thought process, everything has been coming from within them. There's a beautiful story that I read very, very shortly. I'm sure you guys have heard about it. Okay. There's an internal issue and external issue. So this lady comes up, she comes up for breakfast and her husband is down, and she always complains that laundry this lady just doesn't seem to be cleaning the clothes well. Laundry is absolutely poor. The clothes still are dirty. And every day, the lady comes and says the same thing to the husband, that this lady, she simply does not know how to do her laundry. They are still dirty. But one day she comes down and then she says, "MashaAllah, today she's done a pretty good job." The husband tells her, it's not that she has done a pretty good job. I cleaned the glass today, our glass. આપણો જે કાચ જે છે એ ચાફુ હતું તો તને બધું ચાફુ દેખાતું હતું. The issues are internal. The issues are internal, but I see them as external problems. Habibi, I need to really, really get deep down into myself to understand what the problem. It's all to do with the mind. It's all to do with the mind. However, what happens here? When the thought starts, okay? So there's a beautiful saying here. So he says, sow a thought, વિચાર મગજમાં શરૂઆત અહીંયાથી થઈ છે અને thought છે ને એ શેતાનનો ઘર છે. Insinuation, whispering is Shaitan's job. So the thought comes in. If I develop that thought, I have two options. I can thresh it straight away, which is the right thing to do to avoid any issues for myself. Or I take that thought and I start building that thought up. So sow a thought, reap an action. After that, there is an action that comes in. Sow an action, reap a habit, adat thayai. Keep on now performing the same act based on that thought. Keep on performing that action. That action becomes now a habit. Sow a habit and reap a character. Tari character thai gaya. This is you now. You started off with that dirty thought and you allowed that thought to enter. You developed that thought. You allowed that thought to enter into your heart. Now that one thought has become your character. And then he says, sow a character and reap a destiny. Wallahi, my destiny, upar, whether it is Jannat or Jahannam, will all be based on that first thought that comes to my mind. How I have developed it or how I have threshed it. Let's recite a salawat, please. The question now, we're all relating to this to ourselves. The course of action for the brothers, because this was a burning issue, okay, this was something that was burning them, and it was so serious. Wallahi, when we are sitting here, you wonder, come on, man, for such a petty thing, you want to go and kill your brother? Really speaking, does it really make sense? Let's go deeper in and we'll realize that how much we are also in the same sickness. Now, the scholars, they are opening this up and they say that generally us, we don't intend to kill a person physically. We have the burning sensation inside about people. And there is no doubt about that. We all have it. All right, Quran ni andar par we have Rabbana ighfir lana wa li ikhwanina alladhina sabaqu bil iman wa la taj'al fi qulubina ghilla. Ghilla je che, it is in the Quran as well. We are praying to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala ki a rancor mara heart ni andar che for my brothers and for my believers. Get it out from me, because આ ચીજ મને ઉવા આગળ જતા બહુ નરવાની છે, નરસે મને આ ચીજ. આગળ જાતા ઉવા નહીં, આગળ જાતા એટલે કબરની અંદર આ રેન્કર મને બહુ હેરાન કરશે. અને આ રેન્કરનો મેઇન કારણ જે છે, આ જે પેલો જે વિચાર આવે છે, પછી આ વિચારને હું બિલ્ડઅપ કરું છું ને, and then I'm causing this rancor. So we, in our case, we don't intend to kill a person physically. What we do is we go for character assassination. Character assassination. ગીબતનો મેઇન કારણ આ છે. મારા દિલની અંદર મને શાંતિ નહીં વરે. પક્કા હું આ માણસને હું નીચે પારું, અને નીચે પારવા માટે મને સાથ જોશે. I will start talking about him within my public circle as well. One sin after the other, one sin after the other. This is, I have to understand, is the mission of the devil. Iblis શું કર્યું? He just had to go to one of the brothers. The 10 of them are sitting in the room. Just influence that one kid. And that one kid had made an announcement loudly to the other kids, and everybody played ball. Now, shaitan can go and look for other clients. This job has been done. Wallahi, આ બધા problems આપણા છે. Let's try and look for the fingerprints of shaitan in our houses. આપણા બધા જે તકલીફો અને પ્રોબ્લેમ્સ એ બધું છે is because we have allowed shaitan to do his job. Now, one more point here, I'll conclude. Today, inshallah, I don't think I'll be going too much. Another 4-5 minutes and I'll be done. Question. The brothers did all this to draw Yaqub's attention towards them. This whole plotting of killing Yusuf was simply to draw Yaqub's attention to them. Did they succeed? We will talk about that, inshallah. The point here that we are trying to do, and very interesting, is they wanted Yaqub to appreciate their work. Because these young brothers, teenagers, were the ones who were doing all the chores of the family. Everything they were doing. They were mighty, they were strong. But what they felt, that all this ame kare che, badhu ame kare che, but dad's attention is more towards Yusuf and Benjamin. Dad never comes and tells us that you have done a good job. So they were having expectation of appreciation. Question. If I'm working in the community, how much of the work that I am doing is lillah, and how much of it I am doing for appreciation? Whatever I do, at the back of my mind, I'm trying to impress. Really speaking, even on social media, when I post a beautiful post, હું research કર્યો છો, બહુ મહેનતી research કર્યો, I'm just giving an example, બહુ મહેનતી research કર્યો છો, and I post that article on the social media, and then I realized that I posted, nobody's acknowledging my post. So did I do that for that acknowledgement, or did I do it for another reason? Mari niyat શું છે, મારી intention શું છે? So these are all the lessons, inshallah, that we want to try and learn from this. Like Bibi Maryam alayhi salam, the beautiful example che, did Maryam alayhi salam look good? Did she do whatever she did for the sake of the people? She comes with a baby. She's not married. She comes with a baby. So did Maryam look good in people's eyes when she walked with the baby in front of her community? She had Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Irrespective ke tamne loka ne su samjhu hoy. I don't care. Allah is the one who is looking at me, is the Sami and is the Basir, and I'm satisfied with that. So our entire lives revolve around impressions. Ayah number 10. Quickly, and we conclude. A speaker from among them said, do not slay Yusuf. Cast him down into the bottom of the pit if you must do that, so that some of the travels will come and pick him up. So the first proposal, kill him. But then there was one. Narration tells us this person who actually said, slow down, was called Lavi. And I think the progeny of prophethood came from Lavi as well. So Lavi was the guy who slowed them down. Don't kill him. We want to get rid of him. That's the whole idea. So why kill him? Let's just get rid of him. So both ways, we are getting rid of him. Now from tomorrow, inshallah, tomorrow we are not having the session, but from Sunday, it gets so interesting, and that's why today I cut it short, is now the mission is how do we go and convince dad? Amne Yusuf ne le jaunch. How do we go and convince dad? And inshallah we will be talking about that from tomorrow, inshallah. Let's recite a salawat. اب گھر کو چلو خاک سے اٹھو علی اکبر اب گھر کو چلو خاک سے اٹھو علی اکبر پہنچے جو حسین ابن علی لاش پسر پر وہ حال نظر آیا چھری چل گئی دل پر یہ کہے کہ زمین پر گھرے بیٹے کے برابر آیا ہے پدر ہوش میں آؤ علی اکبر اب گھر کو چلو خاک سے اٹھو علی اکبر ظالم کوئی بے کس کو بتاتا تھا نہ رستا چھایا تھا نگاہوں میں اندھیرا ہی اندھیرا آیا ہے پدر پاس تیرے ٹھو کرے کھاتا آنکھوں کو ہوا کیا میری پوچھو علی اکبر اب گئے کو چلو خاک سے اٹھو علی اکبر کیوں پاؤں رگڑتے ہو کہاں درد اٹھا ہے بتلاؤ میری جان میرا دل بیٹھ رہا ہے کیوں ہاتھ ہے سینے پہ کہاں زخم لگا ہے پھٹ جائے گا دل باپ کا بولو علی اکبر اب گئے کو چلو خاک سے اٹھو علی اکبر لعنة الله على القوم الظالمين إنا لله وإنا إليه راجعون اللهم اغفر للمؤمنين والمؤمنات والمسلمين والمسلمات الأحياء منهم والأموات اللهم تابع بيننا وبينهم بالخيرات إنك مجيب الدعوات إنك على كل شيء قدير اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد الفاتحة.
السلام عليك يا رسول الله، السلام عليك يا أمير المؤمنين، السلام عليك يا فاطمة الزهراء، السلام عليك يا حسن المجتبى، السلام على الحسين وعلى علي بن الحسين وعلى أولاد الحسين وعلى أصحاب الحسين جميعا ورحمة الله وبركاته. السلام عليك يا غريب الغرباء السلطان أبا الحسن علي بن موسى الرضا، كن شفيعنا وشفيع والدينا في يوم الجزاء ورحمة الله وبركاته. السلام عليك يا صاحب العصر والزمان، السلام عليك يا خليفة الرحمن، السلام عليك يا كعبة الإيمان، السلام عليك يا إمام الإنس والجان، عجل الله فرجك وسهل الله تعالى مخرجك وظهورك ورحمة الله وبركاته. اللهم